Hey guys, welcome back. I'm making this video to just show you how I have my thinkorswim set up, what my layout is, and how I got it like this. This, in my opinion, is for my strategy and the way I trade. This is the best setup that you can possibly get for live active day trading in thinkorswim. And this is just my opinion. You can have it set up any way you want, but I'm just going to get right into it. I don't want to waste any time. So I have my watch list on the left. This is my personal, these are my personal watch lists. If I'm trading small caps, I like to see like what's gapping up. I have my indexes here. Um, that I look at gold a lot and silver, and obviously S&P and Nasdaq and the Dow and everything. And so I have all of the stocks that I'm keeping tabs on the left side. This is my watch list. I just named it today because these are all the stocks that I'm watching today, like all the ones that I'm interested in. And if there's one that's gapping up or gapping down or has a lot of relative volume, I'll add it to this. And then I sort it by volume, and that's kind of how I go from like stock to stock. So if I pull this out, you can actually see that I have the number 4 here, and that's linked. You can link the different sections that you have, the different grids that you have and everything, you can link them, color code them so that when you click this stock, if I click Apple here, it'll pop up over here and here and here. So the one thing you need to know, the most important thing here is that I am not in charts right now. A lot of people use charts to day trade, and that's fine. You can trade with in charts, but in my opinion, active trader is going to be way better, and I'll show you why in a second. With charts, you have these ugly borders, and every grid is going to be different. But in trade, you can do these grids too. But you'll notice I only have one grid, and everything is in this one grid. That's why these borders are black and everything, because this is all one grid and I just have opened multiple tabs. And in the active trader, it lets you open multiple charts. So I have 3 different charts of the same stock here in 3 different time frames, because for my strategy, I like to look at different time frames and I identify patterns using different time frames. And then as well as the different time frames, I have the active trader window, time and sales window, and the level 2. The one thing that I don't like about this setup is that the level 2 is over here and the active trader's over here. And when I first was making this layout, I didn't really like how the level 2 was like on the left and the active trader was on the right. I wanted them to be next to each other because they're basically the same. It doesn't bother me as much now. I mainly use the active trader window instead of the level 2, but I do look at level 2 as well. And this is basically how I have it set up. So I have the 1 minute here is the main thing, and then I just use volume. And then on the 5 minute, I have volume subgraph as well. And so you want to go into settings and make sure that you have, where is it? You want to make sure that the volume is in the oh, here, overlap volume. So you want to make sure you have that unchecked, because then it'll show the volume as a different, basically as an indicator. So it'll be below the graph itself instead of overlay. If I overlay it, then the volume's going to be overlaid like that, and I don't really like that because it interferes with the candles. So this is how I have it set up. And then on the daily chart, it's really simple. You can have volume here or not. I like to have the volume. Um, and I look at the daily chart I have. I'll show you, yeah, I'll start with the daily chart. I'll show you what studies I have. Really simple. I have a 9, 200, and a 50 on the daily chart. The 200 is really important. And I have this in the 200 that you can see here is in pink, and I've actually increased the width because you can see the width of this purple is much brighter than the red, because I just to remind myself that this is the important line that you should be looking at. A lot of the times you have these gap up stocks or whatever that are this 200 moving average might be really important resistance. And then I'll show you on my main chart. I'm on the 1 minute. I have a 9 exponential and then 2 simples, 20 and 200. The 200, people don't use that. It's really important. Even on a 1 minute chart, you should have a 200 in my opinion. And then VWAP is this yellow dotted line as well. And then on the 5 minute, same thing. And so those are the studies that I have on the different charts. And then again, the active trader window and the level two. And then you can customize the active trader window. And so the way I have it customized, I have join the bid, buy market, sell market, join ask. And I have hotkeys set up for those as well. I don't really use the hotkeys because I find that the way I trade, I don't need to get in like super quick or usually. Sometimes you do, sometimes you need that perfect exit or that perfect entry, but I don't use hotkeys. I don't think that they're like super necessary for the way that I trade. And then I have this cancel all button, which is really important. If you put out an order and you didn't mean to, you need to hit cancel really quickly. You just hit cancel, or you put an order and you want to, the stock moves and you think, oh no, I'm going to adjust my order. Then you can adjust your order. Then you have the flatten button, which of course just flattens your position no matter what, which is kind of like a get me out button, right? Just get me out now. So that's how I have this set up. There's a different like bunch of different other buttons you can put up here. But this is how I have it set up. And then these buttons that just adjust the quantity really quickly. Um, while I'm at it, I may as well show you kind of like how I have my charts set up because I use this trading window most of the time when I'm trading. I jump around from stock to stock and I'm looking at these, looking for trade opportunities, looking for patterns. But if I'm not doing that, I'm looking at charts. I look at gold. This is my futures. So I have all these different presets, I guess you'd call them for the chart for charts. Um, and this is futures. So like when the market is closed, like this is how I have it because I'm looking at futures. I have the ES futures, NASDAQ, gold and silver. I have a lot of gold and silver positions. So I'm looking at gold and silver a lot. And these are really long-term positions. So I'm not like too concerned about it day to day, but I just like to watch gold and see how it moves. So that's me personally. I have that. And then when the market's open, I flip over to my 9 grid graph, which again, if you're using a laptop, this might not fit on your screen, all these grids. It might be like really not really conducive to like watching stocks really closely. But I have all of these set to 2 minute except for this. It doesn't really matter. You can set it whatever. Like if you're watching the market, you want to have 1 minute, 2 minute, whatever. This is just like what I'm looking at like the market overall. I have tech stocks or whatever mostly, and I can just put in whatever like I want and see how it's doing. Um, and so this is kind of like my main charts page. Like when the market's open, I'm just, I flip over here to like see how stuff's moving, how stuff's going, and I'll flip between the active trader window and charts. Especially if I'm in a trade and I want to see how it's reacting to the market, see how that stock is reacting to the market. So if the market is moving lower, then I want to see that my stock that I'm in, if I'm short, is moving lower, or if I'm long, and then that's concerning me and I want to get out or whatever. So I flip between the both of them. So that's kind of how I have it set up. I hope I'm not forgetting anything. If you have any questions about how I have it set up that I didn't answer, you can put it in the comments and I'll definitely get to it. And yeah, that's it. This is pretty much how I have my thinkorswim set up. In my opinion, it's the best. It's going to be the best. This active trader window and how I have this set up for my strategy is the best way that you can get it. And it's unfortunately not super flexible. Like I wish you could move these grids around and make it so you can move everything, but you can't really. It's kind of uh, it's not super customizable like you'd think it would be, but it's not, unfortunately. All right, so that's it. And yeah, catch me in the next video.